we'll anyway kind of start. Yeah, it's interesting. We started this program way back in 2002. That time it was known with a little different name. It was called TTT, or Train the Trainer, um, where we thought we are kind of trainers to children. Well, our thinking evolved over a period of time, and the program has also obviously evolved over a period of time. So it's been, this is the 59th batch. So it's been a long journey, but a beautiful one for us. And every year we do about 2, sometimes 3, but mostly 2 batches in a year. So that's how it has been. It has also changed in its duration. At some point it was 10, 15 sessions, then it moved to 24 sessions, then it came down to 8 sessions, then again now to 16 sessions. It's been a very interesting journey. But interestingly, in the last 21 years, this is the first time we are doing an introduction to Jagriti. So that's very interesting. We just thought we will do this. So I was wondering what to do in an introduction. I was like really scratching my head to think what should we do in a little time. Anyway, so what I've come up with is, or what we have come up with is 3 situations. So what we'll do is we'll just have a little interaction. That's how we'll do this little intro session um, uh, with these 3 situations. So before that, you would have read, and everywhere we just keep using this term that Jagriti is all about opening different windows, different perspective, different views. That's what it's essentially about. It's not trying to say what somebody is doing or the number of ways in which you are doing something is wrong or right. Absolutely not. Just trying to add more and more perspectives to that. And how we do that, we obviously do that together. That's the important part, right? So what we'll do today is, in a small time, we'll try and just see how whatever is coming to our mind. We have 3 situations, so you can share how you would like to respond, or what you would like to say or do or whatever to these 3 situations. So the first situation is the child is busy playing a game on it shows a TV. Nowadays they may play more on a tab on a phone, but that's okay. So the child is not really, going to do his or her promised work, but busy playing. So that's one situation. The second situation is, the child is kind of come and told you that, there were others who were watching something and kind of not so appropriate, and he or she was not sure whether he or she should continue to watch or not watch. Whatever they were watching was not okay or appropriate, but he was on one side, he or she was tempted to watch what others were watching, and on one side he or she was thinking, oh, should I not? Yeah, that's the second situation. And the third situation is okay, which shows in the visual a slightly older child, a teenager just feeling very horrible about himself or herself. So those are 3 situations. We need not bother about the gender. The point is, so in any situation you can respond. I've just taken 3 different situations. And what would you say or do? So that's a little activity which we have thought. So people who have just joined in, I hope you can see the 3 situations, and this is what we are trying to respond to. So you can just share your response. You can share your response on the mic or on the chat. Today, we'll not really be discussing these responses. Obviously, this is just a quick, short introduction to what Jagriti is all about. So we're just taking in your responses, and I'll see how I can, take those. So just go ahead, share on mic or on chat, and let's start. Yeah, to any of these three situations. You don't have to bother which situations you are thinking about. And I'm assuming you've understood the three situations. And in any case, you can understand in your way also. That's also fine. You don't have to think too much. Whatever is, you know, whatever is coming to your mind, sir, is absolutely fine. Okay, just give me one moment. I would just give me one moment. I'll share the screen again while you can start sharing. I just want, I think something's gone wrong. I'm not able to type, so. Right. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Please share somebody started sharing in the chat. So you can share in the chat. You can share on the mic if you don't feel like uh, typing too much. Yeah, these are the situations. Okay. Okay, so Abhishek is typing in the chat. Others, there's so many people, people who might have joined now, people who would have joined earlier. We have three situations. We're trying to see how you want to respond. So, yeah, one is uh, Abhishek typing. You can share which way you would respond to these three situations. Yeah, you can come on mic. Feel free. Yeah, others, what do you think? You will have to contribute, right? If you stay quiet, well, this activity doesn't move forward. So you'll have to share whatever is coming to your mind. The first situation is Chad is playing game and saying, "Hey, I'll do work later," postponing his work, not coming out of his or her work, not coming out of the game. The second situation is the child comes and tells you, "I was not sure what they were watching. I don't think it was appropriate. I on one side I wanted to watch, they were watching, but on another side I wasn't sure if I should be watching." And the third one is a teenager who's he or she is just feeling horrible about himself or herself.
So for third situation, we can ask this teenager that feel free to, discuss about the situation and yeah. So conversation should be according to his side, not our side, without judgment.
Sorry, so can you repeat what would you say?
So for third situation in which the child,
Mm-hmm,
this teenager is feeling horrible,
mm-hmm.
so rather than judging him or her, just ask him or her to talk freely and
Yeah,
and
so
give
what would you say to him or her?
I'll say that please free to talk and take your time. I'm not in hurry. I'll sit with you and you must you if you want to vent it out your feeling, please go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. More uh, more responses. Even if your response is similar, that doesn't matter. As in, is similar to others. Yeah, I hope the little activity that we are trying to do is clear to people. Okay. So take them out for some time. Okay. So when you're taking them out for some time, Wilmani, what is your, as in, what's your purpose? Is it to sit and talk, or is it just to give them a break?
Just to give them some break,
Sorry?
change their mind, to just divert them,
Divert.
to just give
Okay.
them some break.
Right. Divert, break. Mm-hmm. Okay. More responses.
Could you please repeat scenario second?
Okay. Second is when child has come and said to you that others were watching something which he or she thinks it's inappropriate, and he or she was wondering what to do. One side tempted to watch whatever they were watching, on another side not sure if I should be watching it. So he or she is coming and sharing this dilemma with you. In the second situation, no, the situation isn't happening in front of you. The child is coming and telling you that this happened. So you can't really join and watch, but the child is sharing this with you. Okay.
So I would say that that's okay if you were not willing to watch that or see that. Next time, please be conscious, and if someone else is, insisting you to watch, you may politely deny them, and that's all right. That you are not aware that if you have watched something, so you were not aware what was in the content.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm obviously not typing whatever is your response. I'm trying to generalize it or kind of get the essence of each one, whatever. Okay. Rashmi is saying take commitment. Yeah, but chances are that this is not the first time. So and the commitment has happened before.
For second situation, I would also discuss with the kids what to see, what not to see, like what is appropriate to see
Sure.
and what is.
So should I put it as share my views, because that's
Yeah,
your view, what is appropriate?
what kind of things
Sure.
they can. And for third situation, I would offer to discuss, understand like why the kid is feeling horrible at the first place. And then I would like to elaborate that discussion and try to provide my views, like not to be.
Sure.
Yeah,
Whatever your views are, fair enough.
yeah.
As I said, we're not going deep into any of the situations.
Mm.
Sure. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, my idea of bringing this small activity was one that already, as we just started off, right? It's hardly few minutes, and we have already different ways of responding to any situation. In fact, all of these can be applied to all of the three, or for many, many, many other things that happen. So that's one. So in some ways, Jagriti as a program isn't about one right way, or rather exploring many, many other ways of looking at something, especially trying to understand both either the child or myself, or actually both. So, for example, I can, before even responding, I can think about what are my beliefs or my views, and why am I having those views, even before I respond to the child. Okay, so I can look into my thoughts first. What is bringing in, whatever is bringing in? Is it a concern, or is it some feeling for somebody, or anything like that? Or I can also start thinking, hey, how can I use this situation as an opportunity to kind of make the child stronger, and maybe stronger to deal, or stronger to think what to do, what not to do, and so on. And so that can be another approach. A third approach could be that I share my own concerns, um, and just leave it for the child to figure out what to do with them, and so on. Meaning, we can go on. I'm just starting, so we can have many, many more ways of looking at it. I can even think of it from what is the child's point of view and what is my point of view, and kind of put them together, so we can consider both the point of views, which could happen in the discussion talking that you were all talking about. So I'm not getting into what is it, what I'm trying to say is that there's no right way to respond to any situation, or there is no wrong way to respond to any situation, but we can look at anything. This is just these are just situations, but we can look at anything from many different ways. The idea is that more ways that we look at something, we kind of understand it better. Not the situation, but the child better, and ourselves better. So in some ways, the whole program of Jagriti is about trying to look at something in many, 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 many different ways. These are just some which you shared, and there can be many more. Yeah, so in some ways, that is what Jagriti will try and do. Yeah. So the idea isn't to fix the situation or set the child right or bring in our thing, but the whole idea is to kind of understand, hey, what is going on, right? For example, in this situation, how is it? What are the beliefs of the child that are going on? What are the beliefs that I have about the situation? Or how do we? What is motivating? What is driving the child to do something, even to get tempted, even to feel whatever the child is feeling? How is it that the child can look and understand his own self? Or how can I empower the child to realize what is inside him or her? Or very interestingly, to look at the child's own innate ability to think, to be creative, not just creative in terms of art and craft, but create his or her own thinking, his own wisdom. Or we also call something as habits of mind, which is the way we work and how we can help the child develop these habits of mind. Or how does the child use his multiple intelligences, which each one of us has? Or how can we look at our own behavior so that we get to see how children behave? And even things like, how do we understand and develop the sense of social relationships, sexuality, and so on. So there are lots and lots and lots of topics. And the whole idea is to see how we can just develop, not develop, how can we have lots of options with us? So I keep saying that if we have 10 windows, 20 windows, 10 ways of looking at something, or even one way of looking at something, let's see if we can add so many more. And when we do this collectively, that's what the whole fun is. We create so many more ways of looking at it. So that's what Jagriti as a program is. And let me pause. Anybody has any thought going on inside the mind? We did a small activity, and then I kind of paused it and moved ahead in a small time. But I also want to reinforce, so the idea of Jagriti is not to give a solution or a right way or be preachy or tell you that, hey, this is the way you should do it. So there is no Jagriti way of doing it in that sense. At least we think that there is no one way of doing something. And the more options we have as parents, as teachers, as facilitators, which we all are, whether we are parents or not, we are all the time, all these three. So when we have lots of options, we can juggle around and see which one works. And in some ways, we have also, these options lead us to understand the child better. Yeah, let me take a pause. If anybody has a quick thought, we can listen to that. Not a question right now, but any thought after doing this little activity and yeah, basically after doing that. Anybody? No thoughts? So a lot of, okay, I'll continue. A lot of, so what we have realized it over a period of many, many years, as I was saying, we started this program around 2002, started working with children around 1998. So it's been a very interesting journey. But what we've realized is that more than the child, we need to work on ourselves. We need to unlearn, undo, untie a lot of things that we have picked up. And really that should be the whole idea of this. I'll show you a small video of people talking about Jagriti, just to give you flavor how people have taken it after the program. So let me just, oops. Sorry, this, okay, it started.
I think everybody should join, and not just parents. Parenting will come later on. I think it's pitched as a parenting course, but it is much more than that. It's a self-discovery course. And if you know yourself, only then can you know your child. Because the child has come from you, he's a part of you.
I really like the fact that this whole thing is has a rational sort of basis, right? A rational experiential basis. So for me, that's a very interesting aspect of the course. So it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I also like the process and all of that. So we'll see how we can sort of assist the whole process.
Yes.
But thank you. It's been a pleasure.
I think Jagriti was great. It was an eye-opener to the way I think. And I always thought parenting was feeding the child, giving bath, making the child ready for school, educating. But then Jagriti made me realize that it's preparing the child emotionally, mentally, sexually. And there's much more other than feeding and passing class 10th and college and getting a job. There's respecting the child and treating him as equal, and a lot of things which made me really think.
We keep on hearing this word empowerment in our MBA curriculum, but this is where I felt what empowerment is real, and I saw what it was working for themselves.
I feel empowered. No, whatever we thought, whatever I introspected, thought in last 10 sessions is all sinking in. It's very slow. It's not like I have changed in a day, but it's a lot of thoughts going on. It's a lot of thinking. I'm not trying to experiment anything at home right now, but I think it's naturally, subconsciously, a few things are happening, like the feelings or like the beliefs, right? You kind of think that, oh, now I know about it. So you kind of think about it in your mind, and then you pause, and then you think what you want to do about it. So that's helping, and I think I have always been very excited being with my kids. Now I am super excited to be with them and see it in a whole different way now. So that's great for me.
Okay. So that was some tidbits of people talking about the program. So here's a summary. Somebody's asking what will be the schedule. Well, broadly, this is it's 16 session, 9 to 11 in the evening or night, actually. It's twice a week, Tuesday to Friday. But the rest of the week is full of interactions in the WhatsApp group. We like to do 2 sessions in a week because we have seen this, that it takes time to kind of process, digest, interact, and most importantly, experiment with whatever one has collected in one session. So it's not about it's not something that it's another theory session, because you go back immediately and you can start doing stuff out of whatever you have thought, whatever you got the value out of. And obviously there are recordings on the YouTube of each sessions as private recordings, which you can view again and think about again and so on. But we look forward to a lot of interactions in the WhatsApp group. The contribution for the program is 11 to 16K. Yeah, if anybody has a specific question, the start date is 21st July. And yeah, that is the link, which is there. I will type that in the chat also, but you can just go to the website and you will find the link, or you can WhatsApp. But if you have a specific question or a thought, you can ask me. Yeah, let me pause here. So it's a very it's a slightly people call it it's not just an intense, it's a very intense program. At least that's how we see it, and it requires commitment. Commitment not necessarily in terms of time, but in terms of thought, mind, presence, interactions. So it does require that. Not necessarily big time. In fact, it should work 24 hours on your mind. Or except for the time when we sleep. So that's the whole idea, to churn us thoroughly inside out. We say we are churners essentially, or agitators. So our job is not to tell you what to do, but to agitate you, to think, make you really look inside yourself and your child. That's the whole idea. So it's quite intense, and the more you share, the more you interact in the group, that is where you really get the value. And you would often see people coming back to Jagriti to redo the Jagriti 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. That's very normal, because it's not about one answer or one thing that I've understood. And yeah, somebody's asking, can the contribution be done in installment? Yeah, but do make some contribution upfront, and then you can make the rest of the contribution later. Absolutely. Yeah, any other question you can ask on voice or on chat. So the idea was, I just wanted to give you a quick window into that. At least I want to clarify that it's not a program which is going to teach you anything, not at all, but it is going to churn you totally. That is what we are trying to do here. And that's what we are doing with children also. So it's something that we do with children, something that we do with ourselves, something that we do in the Jagriti program. We do a lot of churning. Yeah. Any questions, any thoughts? For people who joined in later, I was initially sharing this is the 59th batch. We started the program to 2002, so it's been about 21 years now. And this is the first time we are doing an intro session, but I was a little lost. What do I talk about in introduction session for a program like this? It's difficult. Even an introduction like this is hardly telling you what it is all about. Yeah, I can only invite you to an interesting little journey, which could potentially make your whole journey with your child very interesting, is all I can say as of this moment. And yeah, and I'm also stressing on the whole thing is based on your interaction. So as in the whole program, it is a it's a highly interactive program. The more you interact, the more you get out of the program. Both interact in the sessions and interact in the group. So the group is not a public group. Group is within all of us. So we do a session, and then there's so many things that you could be trying at home, or you could be observing within you or the child. And yeah, every sharing helps you to kind of assimilate or explore, or yeah, just know different windows. Yep. Anybody has any question, please feel free to ask. Yeah, thank you, Velmani. I'm also looking forward to, although I've done 59 batches, I'm still learning. That's the best part. So I'm the one who benefits from every batch, from interactions with so many people, meaning it's been what, thousands of people now. It's like a joy for me, and learning for me, obviously.
Any age limit for kids? Like I have a 5-year-old daughter, so.
Oh, no. There's no age limit. There have been grandparents who have attended, there have been principals who have attended, there have been people who are carrying their first child who have attended. So, and the people who have not even been a parent but want to work with children, they have attended. So yeah, it's not really about any age group. If you're essentially interested in children or working with children, whether it's your child or more children, or you're interested in learning, yeah, these two combinations work. Any more questions? Okay, so that's good enough. If you still have questions, you can ping me on, or ping Aarohi on WhatsApp. So that's the WhatsApp number. I'm assuming most of you would have this number, so you can ping here. There's also, I will also send you a small video which talks about what the different topics are. But believe me, these topics can be very, very, what should I say? Limiting in terms of what would happen inside. So we have to give a name to each session, so we call it something, but often what we call it is not what it is. And there is much more to that. So but we still will send you a video so that you can see what those, it's there also on the website, so you can see there, or I can send it to you. If you have any question, you can let me know. And yeah, if you have already registered, ensure that you are part of the WhatsApp group. Yeah, thanks, Ranjini. If you've not yet registered, then, and if you have a question, you can. And we do right now, for the last few years, we have been consistently doing at least 2 batches. We do a January batch and a June July batch. So these are the 2 batches we definitely do. Sometimes we add a 3rd batch, not this year, but sometimes we add a 3rd batch in October, November. But normally we do 2 batches in a year. So if for some reason you are not able to do this batch, you can do the January batch and or so on and so forth. Another thing is once you do 1 batch, you can just keep coming again for doing either some or all the sessions, so that you will find people doing that. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that too. Okay, so let's pause here. Good night for now, and yeah, will let us know if there's anything you would like us to clarify to you. Yeah, so thank you and good night. Right, for people who have registered, we'll start the action in the WhatsApp group from actually this Monday, and then we will take it from there. But the sessions start from 21st July. So see you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you.